chorale. Now, the next two pieces were actually written by a guy named Jerry Snyder. Jerry Snyder is a guitar teacher, and he's written some of the most definitive books on how to play the guitar. If you want folk guitar, buy Gary Snyder's Beginner Guitar Book. I recommend it highly. Best book I've ever worked with. Then if you play electric guitar, he has another whole series for people who want to learn electric. He also has put out a series of jazz books. He's put out a series of books for playing children's things. He's put out a book on folk music. He's probably one of the most prolific writers for teachers to teach guitar. And these are pieces that he wrote himself. This one is called the West Coast Blues.
It's a quartet.
Oh yeah, sorry, quartet. Brian comes in this time. Thank you. Jerry thanks you. I don't think Jerry ever thought someone would play these on, as a string quartet. He's strictly guitar. Brilliant guitarist, by the way. Brilliant. Started out doing folk music in the day, then rock and roll when rock and roll happened, then jazz, and he progressed into jazz, and then he progressed into what we call progressive jazz. And he never forgot his basic country roots. So as a teacher, he's absolutely brilliant. I recommend anything by Jerry Snyder if you want to learn to play guitar. This one is called Strawberry Moon, parentheses, June. whatever that means. So this is Strawberry Moon. This one will be, we're going to be playing it in D minor, although it's in E minor. Ready? And now we're going to do a little something from New Orleans. Is that the way to say it? New Orleans? That's
the way to say it.
They say it, New Orleans, right?
Two syllables.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Two syllables.
New Orleans, yeah.
New Orleans.
But in St. Louis now.
Yeah, I know this is St. Louis Blues, but you hear it in New Orleans. This is by W.C. Handy. He lived 1873 to about 1958, 1959. So he's like on that contemporary bridge where the Industrial Revolution just started happening. So, and this is again, it's written for 4 guitars. We're transposing. Thank you, everybody. And that's basically it. We thought maybe we'll do one more
Do one more.
as an encore.
Encore.
One more.
Something you all know. This is an old English folk song, and I think you'll all recognize it. 2, 3. You've seen me play cello.
Right.
That's another one of the 60 instruments I've learned to play. Thank you all very much. By the way, we call ourselves the Hayes Street Irregulars.
Let's have another hand for
All
them.
right.
Yeah. What a treat. That was great.
Thank you.
Oh, my. I could listen to them every week.
We don't have a week's worth of music.
I'd have to be in G minor. Good, good. So now we'll have a break.
Well,
We'll have a break.
we have what, 4 people left, so
1, 2, 3, 4.
a very, very short break, I guess, really.
Okay, so let's have a short break to support our hosts. Go have a drink or something to eat, and we'll come right back. And we have a few
Nice.
more
Thank you.
tables
Thank
to
you.
read. Thank you. We had quite a few late.
Yeah. Greg, you two hosting together?
Yes, yes.
Thank you for your hosting. Can you
Um,
add me on? It looks like
Sure,
you don't
you're
have that
in
many people.
there. You're in
We
there.
got you.
So we just need 12,
Oh, and we need
a 12, a 13, and a 16.
And 13.
Oh, 14. Just about the last minute.
Oh, no, God. If I take my pens, we're going to have I guess you should keep a little eye on it. Oh, there's a way to turn this off.
So this is being broadcast, cablecast, or sent out to the universe?
On Ustream.
Yeah.
Yes, to the whole world.
It's frightening.
Instead of pencil, I think I'll be good enough. Like a pencil. That will work. That'll work. Now, did anyone else read somebody else's stuff?
No, just don't. Oh, wait.
You read somebody else's stuff, yeah.
I love that movie.
They're coming down for like $5.
I don't get it.
It's in on otherwise they will keep it out for the poetry. That's what I thought we gave out. It's very far away and you don't live in the city here.
I live south of Market.
Your mind is coming on, huh?
I saw you.
And now I've got one. Battlefield game.
Already got one. Yeah, so, what day is it?
But now that I have a
This Friday? Maybe, I'm not sure.
Say now is being recorded.
So you, is there a phone number?
There's a way to turn it off. Is it paused?
I'll see if I can get it. There wasn't something there. Put it on file.
I don't recognize anything.
It's in their driveway.
Okay. I got it. So you can reference other people. So you can reference it immediately in Chinese.
Sure, I guess the light. Yeah, I didn't think that
Okay. Great. All right. Okay. So $200. Is that? Yeah, you might save some lives if you had an earthquake or a bad fire. It's free to everyone. It's specific to the building. Yeah. We have 4 floors. The elevators, there's only 2 of them in strange places. So there's 3 buildings. So 2 buildings have an elevator, 1 doesn't. So, you know, it's got to be. Okay. Great. I will.
might want to pull the light back a little bit.
The band.
Oh wow! Wow!
I think it was good. He had that strong violin.
Yeah.
You know, at least they have one strong player. He's not normally a cello player, so it's cello. The young man, the child, he didn't know. And Mr. Naturalist kind of broke in. Viola.
Really?
But this guy here was.
Yeah, but he was really,
So
he
that
was
was good.
carrying
One
the whole thing.
strong man. Well, I shouldn't say that on the mic here, but it was really good. I loved it. Because really, honky-tonk bands are a little bit,
Yeah, like you said, they haven't played that often. They haven't played these pieces that often.
I thought it was a good
So,
beginning.
I thought it was great.
Really good.
So am I next? I'll sit down. Oh wait, you got me next? Yes or not?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Wait a minute. That's right.
I'll put him in number 4 or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's the mini. And you're
Oh, he's the mini.
Yeah. There's companies like Machine and stuff from.
Does he go next? Does he go right after the mini go later?
David should go next. Very good. And then,
I'm sure there are 8 minutes.
No, Randall was here. He wanted to go 15.
Play a little bit.
as we
But
put
he's
his
been
name.
here.
I beg your pardon? Thank you. That's why I went out.
Okay.
5 hours. Right.
Latvia.
Oh, really?
She's from Latvia.
Oh, wow.
How many Latvians do you know?
What are you doing?
We're good. We're recording every word you say.
I'll make sure that I am.
Keep it clean, terse. Doing good. Look over there on something.
I'm just curious how you folks are doing.
We're good. We're good. How are you?
Good.
Okay. Did you do anything extraordinary yesterday?
No, no.
Really? Just relax.
I had to worry about my grandson. He couldn't stand over noise.
Oh, the fire
And
practice.
especially when I keep falling. It's over now. Please, don't keep going.
Yeah, my cat was built like that. He was like,
I guess we can start.
you want to start? Let me get in a position where I can wave and catch the break.
Hi. Excuse me, how much time do we have left for intermission?
We're just about getting ready to start.
A few seconds. Did you want to read?
Oh, yeah, I have something.
Are you on the? Did you sign up?
You put Frank there.
Oh, your friend. Good. Okay.
You get 5 minutes. Or less.
I'm gonna run up the hill real fast.
If we miss you, we'll come back.
For you, it instructs you
Don't worry about it. What? I are.
Yeah. Go ahead, Frank, and we'll get you when we come back. Yes.
Yeah, I'll sit out there.
So we got some prizes. Another one. We got 2 students each.
If you need me to do anything,
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to start the second half of the open mic here at Sacred Grounds. Stephanie Manning was so gracious in hosting the first half. Yeah. And I will ungraciously host the second half. Okay. We have second half. We have a mini feature, Mr. David Erdreich, and we also have we'll hear from Zane, Frank, Randall Wilson, and Karen Melander Lagoon. So we will get started just about now with our mini feature. We just had our feature, now we're going to have our mini feature, and that is the great David Erdreich. Let's hear it for him.
So in 8 minutes, I'm going to play a little bit of sax, and then I'm going to read as well. So start with a horn. So what?
Was that original?
That was improvised. That was right off the bat.
Whoa! All right.
So I was looking back. I have a show on September 9th at Avanova in Oakland. Dan has been one of my features. Clara Sue is going to be a feature this year. And what I do is I make the poets read to improvised music. So I'll have a musician behind them maybe look at the poem once and just play, you know, an impression behind them. I've done that with Richard Sanderell here a number of times. So, and I have two other kick-ass poets, Tarita, and I'm trying to pull in Laj Daly, who is, I hope, is an African American who is a therapist, but who also spent time in solitary confinement in jail. So, and his stuff is very powerful. So, and they will have musicians behind them. And I already have a musician for you, but I'm not going to tell you. But anyhow, so here I was working with my sound guy yesterday, who I've known for 50 years, and I pulled up. I went back about 7 years and did some stuff that I haven't read out loud. So this is very personal, but this is called Another Man's Hands. And give me, when I have 1 minute left, holler it out, please. Another Man's Hands. This was written in 2011. About a month ago, I lost my favorite leather gloves, calfskin, so soft and pliable I could pick up change. The day before my trip, just after paying my rent, there in the roadway, a pair of leather gloves must have been dropped by a gardener, tanned with darker brown stains on first 2 fingers of right hand, plus here and there a few flecks of dark green paint, reinforced across the palms, a tight fit yet comfortable. I was wearing another man's hands. As a truck driver, 18 years, as a truck driving recycler, I always found my gloves on the road dropped by other careless truckers. I've lost a pair or two myself. Usually you find one hand. A pair is far less common. I'm wearing another man's hands. I don't have to name names. There's only one of you. Just under 30 years ago, we parted ways. You said, no more. My heart split. You got married, had a son. Marriage was not good. You divorced. So much for that other man's hands. A couple of years ago, I sought you out. You didn't even recognize me. You were getting remarried. You were very happy. Felt good. I felt good for you. And bad for me at the same time. You were in another man's hands. 27 years. Did I think your life would stand still? Ego fool, I had no clue. I've had 21 consummated lovers and a dozen and a half more who could have, but for circumstances didn't. At one point I could name each woman. I can't anymore. A couple one-night stands, some short stops, 6 for at least 2 years, some considerably longer, including 3 marriages ending in divorce. You were my only heart song. Is it possible you had a better love connection than ours? Yes, it's possible. Is it probable? I doubt it. You had the most beautiful breasts in the world. You fed your son with them. They've changed. When I ate at the Y, I could hold you in these hands and send you to paradise. It only happened once, but it happened. I, a cunning linguist. The rest of our lovemaking was almost always mutual connect. So women who fake orgasms, you're in the wrong man's hands. Close your vagina, open your mouth, and talk to that fool. He's a man. He may not know shit. He needs to be gentler. He needs to learn to wait for his partner. Let her go first if need be. Keep going. She may hit multiples. Stop if she isn't feeling it's okay. Restrict your penis at the base just above your testicles if need be. But wait, for God's sake. Because if you wait for God's sake and you climax together, you will achieve Godhead, if only for 3 seconds. It's in your hands. I miss her, but relationships have gone progressively downhill of late, so I've retired. I put my penis on the shelf at night and retrieve it in the morning. You're in another man's hands. Looking at these gloves, I too am in another man's hands. Paul Newman was reportedly once asked why he didn't have many lovers and answered, "Why should I eat hamburger when I have steak at home?" When married couples are in love, you can see it in their eyes and in their children's eyes. They're in love when they're not fucking, too. So, how many times?
About a minute.
A minute?
Okay. Well, it's really a really short one.
No matter how many times I pour my guts out on the page, I still have nothing left to say. Okay, and this is another one I haven't read out. This is just kind of like a list. So, Alfonso Artemis Andronico, Benvenuto, Buongiorno, Bijou, Calendula, Caligula, Cagliostro, Diablo, Dendrite, Dojo, Ariadne, Eliana, Elise, Fernando, Fuji, Fatal, Giuseppe, Giorgio, Genovese, Henry, Horatio, Hidalgo, Iago, Giacomo, Isaiah. I wrote, Isaiah's my grandson's name. He's 2 years old. I wrote this 7 years ago. So, Joshua, Jeremy, Jimmy, Karen, Casco, Claxon, Lindaro, Lillian, Lysander, Marco, Mario, Maria, Nancy, Nanette, Nivaldo, Ophelia, Oleander, Orville, Petruchio, Paisano, Piazza, Quintulus, Queen, Quiver, Razzo, Richelieu, Rotunda, Sierra, Seraglio, Sylvester, Tango, Talia, Tantalus, Ubaldo, Uvula, Ulysses, Vivian, Vienna, Vortex, Webster, Warren, Wendig, Xerxes, Xenia, Xylophone, Yvette, Yerba, Yalu, Zoe, Zachary, Zemmel. Thank you.
Thank you, David. That's right. All right. Next up, we have Zane. Zane is up next. And we have a hand for Zane.
Hi guys, thanks for existing, being bodies and stuff. Yeah, I got some words for you. Oh yeah, and like it looks like I just came out from like a mental hospital or something. I just fell on my skateboard, so my hands messed up.
Whoa. Okay.
Limited by missed messages, bird calls, hum into harmonica. I don't want this body, so I will give you mine. Start with right pinky, end with left wrist. We can still spin a globe with spirit holding my ring. I lost somewhere at work, it was so pretty. I watched the sun hide its way through creases. I watched the sun make mistakes on what time it is. I watched the sun closely with my eyelids shut tight as doors we only have to break into. Bricks stacked upon pressed flowers, there is something worth building upon here. I made sure of it. I thanked all the people who showed up and told them that they were necessary. No, you are drunk, and no, he is the accident, and no, I am the caution tape worn as bracelet for every time I should have stopped my voice across street. In the middle of the desert, I am water that didn't know how to make up its mind. I am still. Thanks for supporting. I'm gonna do I don't know, I've been like playing around with page stuff, which is fun. Child believes in shadows like Jesus Christ in the back seat, buckle up. We're going somewhere far away and I love you, but I'm going to leave you in quotation marks. We keep ourselves on crutches. Healing for some reason. Last week I was falling over to test the theory of gravity, disproving any sense of existence that has built me up. Empty beer cans. Not enough sleep to wake up and care, so I made it a goal to stitch together the rest of our shortcomings. I still wear it worn ribs. There's a space that makes sense to someone here. Air conditioned. I found my ending. It isn't pretty. It isn't anything at all, and I'm fine. See those teeth held so well. Love story, locked car, baby in baby carriage. The acceptance in a bed before plane engine lands so sweetly onto roof. That's a baby in a baby carriage. We went around the block, felt safe, felt lock, key, and sliced pinky fingers. I am in the crosshairs of every sentence. I have only thrown a bullseye once. It's twice now. They sell buckets of rocks for $5.99 plus tax in the aisle by the candles. They are not kidding. The store is on fire and it smells great. I'm writing a story that doesn't have any version of me I have ever known. We are so true and valid, and the popcorn is spilling over the sides, and she is made of butter. Leave it there or take the bricks with me. We are the empty breath, loose change jangling for every beggar that learned how to spell his name with the rot of cardboard. Cough until I am good again. Swallow the stones, you'll swim better that way. Thank you, oh thank you. I am so glad the bridge knows your bare feet. It's such a great place to be. Apologize for every time you mispronounced her name. Even I thought she was Ghost. Don't drink this one away, Ma. Thank you.
Zane, thank you, Zane. All right, next on the lineup is Frank. Frank, have you been here before?
No, I've never been here before.
Frank has never been here before. Let's give it to him.
I really do. I work I'm a bureaucrat in an office, so this is a huge help to come here and release the sterilization of workday life.
We welcome you.
I have a list of poems here. I'm not the author. So
Okay.
the author is a 90-year-old woman who can't make it. So on her behalf, I'd like to read these, and hope you enjoy. 10 minutes?
Yeah, about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah, 5, 6 minutes.
Most of these are more or less love poems, so here goes. You come from a dream. As I hold you, I hold everything dear. My heart lies within, protected there, where a stillness is beyond quiet, where two hearts are beating at the same rhythm. Hold my hand lest I be alone. Hold my hand that I may see better. Hold my hand and dream. Without you, I am only one. I live in a rainbow where there is no end. Our paths have crossed, and it is for a reason. Come, lean on me, and rest your hand upon my brow. Lay flowers at my feet, wrap clover in my braids. Cover me with your loving words as we wrap ourselves in the moment. Where a blanket gives warmth to add to the warmth of two. Stay by my side, we own today, and tomorrow is uncertain. It is not how wide we open our arms for each other, but our hearts. Where blessings fall like roses without thorns. Our lives are a journey into the unknown. We are a small part of this world, but it is ours. This one's titled Sadness Has Its Own Rainbow. Try to remember how far you didn't forget. They just weighed heavy in your heart. The mornings were always fresh, enabling us to step in and breathe the newness. All enjoy and each new feeling secure in the presence of one another. A new life to share, how special we are. Empowerment coming from this trusting encounter, a cumulative love preparing us for so many tomorrows. And then, an aching emptiness when one departs. Your presence has left an empty space in the air. There is no wholeness when one half is gone, no tracks to guide me. That was not the plan. Moving on will never be the same. Was such an encounter so special, so deeply moving, never to be replicated. But the past is held deep inside, a true living experience where everything is in motion. Nothing just withers and dies. Moving on has been decreed. Thankfulness and joy live on in each new breath. When you call, I will hear you. Cut the ribbon that binds, and I will fly to you to rebind. We are two halves of a beautiful shell that the sea can wash away to an unknown time and another distant shore.
Sorry, if this helps. Okay. Who sings this song for you?
Who holds your hand through the night? See the moonbeams fall, they fall for you. What moves you forward with such grace and ease? Walk this path with me and spread your thoughts with your glances. With that feeling left unsaid, there is far greater treasure coming from your eyes. Somewhere there is a cool spring and a green glen for you and I, a place of repose and reflection, a place to dream dreams unheard of. Let the flowers grow and read me a smile. I don't need adornment. Our hands were made for more than displaying jewels. The warmth of your gentle caress. Bring me the roses that grow in the rain, and buttercups to remember you by. Bring me dates and figs to sustain and nourish your body and soul. Carry me in a throne of gold. Carry me in a travois. Carry me on your back, where love seeps through. Carry all your sunbeams with you, and I will follow you and feel your presence. You will brighten my day with a hope for tomorrow. Love drives me forward, lifts me up, weightless, and great joy envelops us. Our blessings don't fall from the sky. They come from those you love and those who love you. One more. And because I'm trying to be fit into the previous readings, I thought this would be appropriate. It's titled January 20th. It was actually written in January 4th. He sits on an artificial throne with no foundation. He needs clothes to prop him up. He floats, he does not know where. There is an empty space within. He will move in like a bloated balloon and slowly lose air. He is beyond his capabilities, but too pompous to admit it. His undoing will surface early, and he will rely on others to backtrack for him. He doesn't want to get his hands dirty. Appearance means everything. He has his own perfunctory remarks. He cannot put 2 and 6 together. There are too many propping him up. It will never go in the right direction.
You said that was by a friend of yours?
Oh, I'm sorry. This was the 90-year-old mother of mine.
Oh, all right.
It was her birthday 2 days ago. So
right on.
Oh, wonderful.
I thought I'd read for her.
Write her name and we just.
Oh, her name?
Yeah. We could just take care of the name.
Very nice.
All righty. Well, that was wonderful. Next up, we have a gentleman. I don't think he's ever read here before. He's been here, but maybe read before. Yes. Long time ago. All right. Well, welcome him back, Mr. Randall Wilson.
Yeah.
But I do show up.
All right. Yes.
So I'm not a poet, but I write, and these are just some memories and impressions, and we'll see how far I get in the time. Okay. I'm an English teacher. That's the worst. Okay. It's a great fear of mine was becoming an English teacher. Okay, so 3 memories. The rain is coming down like a sad mood on a gloomy day. Sunday is a quiet day of reflection against a gray sky of memories. The rain drops of thoughts, plays its own rhymes, rhythms. Today won't be a dance of joy or brightness as the spring emerges. No, today won't be that day, for today is Sunday with the rain playing its own rhythms of a song against the reflections of a gray sky. These are like dream Valentine's. I remember Sundays as the day when we'd pile into the car and go for a drive. Who knew where or how we would get to some unknown spot? It was a day of dinners, not suppers. Sunday was a day without time, a day with music. It was a day of short naps and quiet conversations. Sunday broke up the weeks, a chance to start over. It was a day with structure, but without time. Sometimes the hours would stretch out, long lines of telephone wires, doing a loopy half dance as we drove home. Sundays were the slowly setting sun of a red gold sunset over flattened landscapes over sparkling snow. Sometimes the time went by in cup time, a la brava, over too soon but wonderful to remember. Now Sundays are solitary affairs. Conversations are thoughts with myself, my memories. Somewhere else, someone is going for a drive with the destination unknown, where the telephone wires do a loopy dance. and then last one was three-part thing. No one ever really wrote a direction for getting old. Maybe it isn't needed, or it writes itself when you need it. How would it be written? Are there rules to follow? Does it matter if we do now what we didn't do then or can't? Was it important now and it wasn't then, and everything back then was last week, 2 decades ago, sometime? Was it important and always would be? Now I can't remember what or why, but it was important then. So would I be on lesson 1 in the direction, or lesson 10? And if there are no directions, then what? I look in the mirror and I don't see me. Surely no one else does either. That face is my father or my grandfather. I couldn't be that person. Who the hell is it? Is it lesson 5, becoming your own grandparent? Jesus, I think I know now why there are no direction books. I'm getting old. It just wouldn't sell. Would you buy it? This was a little longer. And I've only read this out like once today, but I wrote it about a year ago. I sit at a coffee shop down on Division Ware with a typewriter and write or type. Things I like. The sound of a piano, the look of sheet music, the record changer of an old phonograph, the sound of the records as it hits the spinning turntable, the gradual increase of the drum of an approaching marching band on a summer's day parade, the blast of trumpets playing a Sousa march. I like the waving tulips in a breeze as birds fly overhead to somewhere else, the playful slapping of the triangle multicolored flags on plastic strings that beckon people into a gas station. I like the look of Kool-Aid dissolving into into an impossible color that is not found anywhere in nature. I like the smell of lighter fluid just before it ignites charcoal. I like the sound of the orchestra tuning up and the darkness in the theater anticipating the overture. I like sitting in a hot car after swimming in a freshwater pond. The pulsing light of a lighthouse at night lets me know that someone is guiding us home. The distant red lights of an antenna farm say the world is connected, and I like that. Ragtime music and the sweet smell of tobacco reminds me of my childhood, the good part. I like babies who play kazoos and old people who tell their life stories. I like their stories. I like the fragrance of lilac, gardenia, honeysuckle, the delicate flames of candles in blue jars, the first stars of the evening sky, the crescent moon of an afternoon sky. Oh yeah, I like the sound of my typewriter. And when folks talk to me about it. I like being with people who are loving and loved, and I like being here with you.
All right. Thank you, Frank. All right. And last but not least, we have the lovely Karen Melander Magoon. Yeah? And right after she's done, please don't leave, because we have some fantastic, wonderful prizes. Unbelievable.
Thank you for the host for this evening, for Stephanie, and for you. That's very lovely. Will there be hosting next week?
No, Dan will be back next week. He's just taking this week off. He will be back next week in his regular seat.
A nice weekend. A thoughtful weekend. Those of you know Georgia O'Keeffe, that probably one of the greatest artists, an American artist, and a woman. She gradually grew blind, which is, of course, pretty relevant considering that she was an artist and a painter. And so this is, I wrote a musical about Georgia O'Keeffe, a musical portrait of her, and this is a little piece of it. She is talking to Allen Ginsberg, so that kind of puts you within a certain frame of the people that she knew in and around the West Coast. She was, of course, primarily, she was in New York, but she also, we think of her primarily in the Southwest and in Abiquiu, and in Santa Fe, in that area. So, what do I believe? Allen Ginsberg asked me if I believe in something more than I can see. But I feel shadows and I smell the sage.
I am embraced by all that I believe and cannot say if that is faith. The first star in the evening is a promise that the world will shine with candles when the sun is gone. And I am blind and see the evening star.
Just a few, what I call impressions. The flowers are hiding under wet soils, flooded pavements, swollen clouds menace the horizon, gathering their power to race across the earth again, frightening the hidden seeds and bulbs huddled under winter storms, afraid to raise their heads into a promised springtime. Today the clouds hung listlessly, etching gray lace across the horizon, veiling the sun for moments as she invited them for tea, just to brighten their spirits, spilling a few drops from her boiling kettle into a sullen sky. And this is when I was on Amtrak going from San Francisco to Portland with my late husband. Train passes green, turning yellow, trees shoot fountains of red, leaves whisper words we do not hear, hanging mute in dark space, yellow notes wishing to cadence, to fall on earth's breast, to sink, to disappear, passing peopled windows, crinkled starfish swimming in dry rainforests, gasp a last yellow, grasp a lost mellow chord of renunciation, forgotten springtime sing in broken phrases, birdsong, crickets chatter, squirrels race silently against time of the train. It is dark. Sunset was just an idea, a knowledge of west, a bright sun, then near cold blue forest silhouettes like dancing skeletons of tree, momentarily glance at distant valley, hirsute hills of forest, mountain caps hiding secrets under crowns of red earth, now dark. One with squirrels, opaque yellow hands and red fire lost in night, forgotten, whistling train, oblivious to the stars that light its journey. Have you ever been on a train in this country? Anybody taken Amtrak and gone from daylight into sunset? And it's so quick because the train is heading towards the west or towards the east. So the sunset was just an idea. So I said, okay. This was, I was fascinated by the word integument because I didn't know what it meant. I had to look it up. It's layers. Of course, all of you know that. I had to do my research. Integuments could be arguments, outside justifications for inside questions. Integuments could be cracked by nutcrackers with funny faces. If they are walnut shells, integuments could be left in meadows or next to trees. If they are discarded antlers or skins of snakes, integuments could be glued on again, in some cases, or wrapped around letters, as in envelopes, or maybe band-aids wrapped around tiny fingers.
What's the word again?
Integuments. Integuments.
Integuments. Oh, okay.
Integuments.
No, I didn't know what it meant.
Means layers, and it was so much fun to work with. Yeah.
I use it all the time.
Well, of course, now we just have to make sure we use it again tomorrow, right?
Of course.
Every day.
Yeah. Rain in, this is all pretty random, but anyway. Rain in February this year, 2017. Rivulets streamed down my window. Yesterday, half a tree had been down where I was walking down a San Francisco hill.
The dams are crumbling for lack of infrastructure as drought turns to floods and water becomes king of his California empire, washing the streets clean while forming puddles with debris. Children trudge through the alleyways, umbrellas combating the winds. Sun hidden behind layers of clouds tips gray buckets into the streets and over our roofs, laughing behind our dense veil at the nearly full moon that didn't stand a chance last night, trying desperately to shine into my window.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all. All right, well then, is anyone else who didn't sign up would like to read? That covers it all. Okay.
How
Well,
about dance?
how about dance? Do you have a dance you'd like to perform? Seriously?
If you play sax, I will dance.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. What's your name?
Leanne Adamson.
Leon.
I will introduce you.
Okay, wonderful. Oh.
I was almost walking away. We just arrived from Toronto and we were very tired, but we are so mesmerized with your event. And I think it's beautiful what you do here, and you express yourself, and it's art, pure art. I have created something called spiritual dance. I'm a professional ballerina from Europe, and I teach now. Most of the time just teach, don't dance. But I have published a book called Spiritual Dance, and you can Google spiritualdance.ca. So basically you express your emotions with your dance. You have to let it out. Like you let it out in your writing, with music, with instrument, you express yourself. And when you express yourself, you feel more whole. And I would like to express myself with dance. And this gentleman who played saxophone tonight really inspired me, and I hope you can play again.
All right.
And I will dance for you.
Well, thank you. And your name again is?
Leanne.
Leanne. Thank you so much, Leanne. And this is her first, obviously her first time here, so we need to give her a good welcome. Now, do we need to move the mic out the way?
Don't hit them together, they'll break.
Oh, okay, I like that.
They gotta be separate.
You can hit your knee.
No, I can't. I'm broken.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, you got about 5 minutes or so?
You want to start?
Yeah. You start,
Or
please.
you want me to start? Fast or slow, any direction? Okay.
Improvisation. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. All right, now we have
Prizes.
prizes are left. And I will have the Honorable Mark Lucados just have a little shuffle there. And we will give out these wonderful prizes. We have Springtime, a ghost story by Michelle DeCrester, Turin's Imitation Game by Ken Warwick and Huma Shah, and this is about man versus machine. House of Lost Worlds by Richard Conniff is about dinosaurs and early history on the Earth. There are two World Wildlife magazines here. You could take them both together. There is a Janis Joplin CD, Janis Joplin with Big Brother and the Holding Company, live at Winterland, 1968.
And that is what the first album was actually based on. This recording is the live version of that album before the album was recorded.
Oh, excellent. All right.
So it's really good.
All right.
Something I really enjoy.
Over 75 minutes of music. Stan Kenton and his orchestra, 18 original big band hits. There's The Madman and the Mechanics Institute by James Conrad, right back here, who signed it already. And there are various magazines here, American Archaeology, Nature Conservancy, Living Bird, and National Wildlife magazine. So here we go. And our winner, first winner, is number 5, Delta. Delta, I believe Delta's left.
Yes.
All right. Next up, number 6, Owen Dunkel. You have your choice of, plus I'm sorry, I neglected to mention, you also have the mini feature, the keynote, which means that you read someone else's work at the beginning, and then later on you can come back and read your own later. And then there's also the last word. Co-pilot, and
Co-host.
or which is co-host, and then also it's the pick the word of the theme for next week.
Which was it this
Okay.
There's so many choices. There's so many choices. You've got to.
I'll take
Owen's
this.
going to take the ghost story. Alrighty, wonderful. Next winner. Well, this can't be because he's in twice. Owen won again as keynote. But that's quite not fair. That's quite not fair. So yeah, why don't we, just out of fairness, let's kind of, I think that's
Move on?
yeah, let's move on.
I'll do a customer.
Just to be fair. All right, number 13 is next. Number 13 is Frank. Frank is the winner. All right. And you may have your choice of any of these two magazines go together, and your choice of any of these, or the CDs, or any of the various magazines. All right, you can grab a couple of those, and there you go. You're quite welcome. And next up, we have number 15, Randall Wilson. Is a winner. Randall has a choice of any of these wonderful prizes in addition to the keynote and the last word and the theme for next week and the co-hosting and the mini.
I'll take this.
All right. Man against machine. All righty. Next up, number 11.
Thank you.
Number 11 is Greg Pond. He's not going to win. No, not tonight. Number 12. Zane is next. Zane is the next winner. And Zane has a choice of these fantastic prizes. And all right. He takes Janis Joplin and Big Brother and the Holding Company. All right. Next up, number 8, James Conrad is the winner. All right. And there's also the mini, the final word, the theme for next week. You can't have this one.
I know. I hadn't planned on that. I don't know. Pass.
All right. Okay. All righty.
You pick the word for next week?
Yeah, the word for next week.
What, the theme?
Yeah, the theme for next week. Yeah. What would like to be the mini or? Oh, yeah. We got to do one more. I need one more.
Existence.
Existence. Existence. Existence. All right. For next week. All right. And next up is number 9. Number 9. Clara Sue. Minnie. Okay, nothing here. Oh, gee.
He's so busy with his Clarion.
All right. I didn't make an extra card, so if you'll excuse me, I will also want to put Leanne in the running as well. So, but I think out of fairness, I think maybe we should just get these and then we'll get one first from Leanne. So, all right. Next up, number 10. Number 10. Mark, look at us.
Shuffle that now.
All right. No, you don't. Oh, come, please. Of course. There's also the mini next week if you'd like to come back.
Not sure what.
All right. All right. And then number 16 is Karen. Karen is the winner this evening.
What are these dinosaurs handed to me?
I think he grabbed the dinosaurs.
I got
the
dinosaurs.
We have, but we still have the mini for next week if you'd like to come back.
What is next week? 11th, 12th?
Next is 12th of July.
I think I could do the menu.
Would you like
I
to
always
do?
tell them, maybe I can't, but 9% I could.
All right, so you would like to do the mini?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay, I'd like to do the mini for
The
next week.
dinosaurs are gone, right?
Yeah,
Well,
mark
gone.
that. And then one last person winner is lovely Leanne. Yeah.
Oh, and you had me in there.
Oh.
I wasn't listed.
Oh, wow. Whoa. How did that happen?
Yeah, well, it was just an oversight.
Oh, so sorry about that.
Put
That's
me
right.
down for co-pilot. I already volunteered.
Oh, co-pilot. All right.
To,
All right.
yes, to help them out.
You're my inspiration.
And you are my inspiration. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll take a second if you don't mind.
Yeah, okay, certainly.
Thank you so much for giving me the
Thank
opportunity.
you. Oh, thank you so much for gracing us with your lovely dance. Well, I think that just about brings it to a close. Thank you all so much for staying. Thank you for your poetry, your writing, your ears, for listening. And
Nicely done.
please come back next week. Dan will be back, and he'll be hosting. David Erdreich will be the co-host. And the theme for next week will be existence.
Existence.
Yes, indeed. So, all right, and we will keep these and bring these other wonderful prizes back next week with some more wonderful, fantastic.
There, you have to take them.
No, I do take them with them. Yeah, bring them back. So
Because I
they will be
bought a couple
back.
myself, but I'm not going to burden you with them.
But I'm so glad that you took all the heavy ones. So thank you all so much.
The dinosaur was a heavy one, wasn't it?
Yes.
The story at the beginning of the world. Well, that's
Thank you, Teddy. Thank you
I'll be here next week. Obviously, probably
Thank you. And thanks to our feature, Mr. Natural, and the Hay Street Irregulars. So thank you all. Good night. Thanks for coming. Please come back.
See you later. Good to see you.
And
Thank you so much, Frank. All right, wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. Please come back.
Okay, I will, because I need an outlet from the computer. What was the theme tonight? You know, I was just curious.
The theme was nothing.
What?
Buckets.
Perfect.
All right.
Tell your mom she's good, right?
Yes. Thank you so much. Please bring back that. That's wonderful. Great.
Like 8,000 pages.
Oh. So you'll be back.
I will be back. It's very strange, but it's good.
Well, that's all right.
Into it too, you know?
Thank you, Zane.
You can tune her into the thing. It's on there. It's on
That way.
It's broadcast live.
I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, so.
It goes internet.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Possible I can take a ride.
Mark, thank you so much.
Good to see you.
All right. Great job. And excuse me, I couldn't tell whether
It's okay, I can.
so well together.
I'm just trying not to.
Thank you, Mr. Natural.
Oh, thank you.